Hi all. Oh, I don't know why I played c5 actually. I don't know if are the comments. Can you hear the comments? I'm gonna get done over in this Sicilian defence. Or at least it's sort of solid-ish for the moment. Oh, okay. Good. He's creating weaknesses. Is the commentary there? Sorry, is the commentary there? Can anyone hear any comments? Is anyone on? Is there any comments? I don't know why. Otherwise, there's no point in doing live streaming. D5 doesn't look that brilliant, but it seems a logical thing to do to parry the flank. King's in the centre. Knight d6 might be useful. This knight d5 looks dangerous. I'll just let him take on f7 or h7. This knight d5. What about bishop f6? That's another square he's given me. Although knight d5 does look crushing. I think he's got a point here, unfortunately. It's knight e4. Counterplay. Knight d e4, knight c e4, knight d e4. Maybe for bishop f6. Oof. Looks like a mess. Okay, so can I win this f7 pawn? If I play rook d8. Wow. My king's caving in. Whoa! Oh dear, oh dear. It is, isn't it? Oh! Didn't expect that so quick. What about queen e5? Oh, okay, I'll ignore that, thanks. Queen e5 might be the only move. I'm attacking two bishops. Takes knight d5, protects g7. Has he been a bit overly enthusiastic with f5 to smash me up to bits? I'm hoping so. It did give me the e5 square. The weakness of the last move, f5, weakening e5, king still in the centre, not respecting the art of war principle, putting yourself beyond defeat before going on to the attack. But does he need it? Is the attack strong? He could castle queenside and the attack would still be strong here. Castle check. How do I defend? I have no idea how I defend this. I can never take this because of queen g7. What about queen takes d5? Queen takes d5 or knight takes d5. I have to take, otherwise g7 is mate. So knight takes d5. If castle's queenside. Okay. Anything crushing here? Otherwise queen g6 is going to crush me. What about knight e4? If I take queen g6, that's end of game, isn't it? For me? I can't see how I'm defending that. Actually, I can't take it over here anyway, so might as well play knight e4 in any case to try and parry queen g6 with queen f2. There's bishop b4, there's bishop h4, rook h4, it's rook f7, queen g6, rook f7. I can get to play king h7, that would have been nice. Why didn't I play king h7? Now there's h7. What a disaster. If I had... Oh dear. What about bishop f8? King h7 here. Okay, give me king h7 here. So there's bishop h4 on the cards. There's rook f2. Just rook f2. Just winning outright. Oh no! Why didn't I just play rook f2 there? Ah. Oh. Well, there's check to win the exchange anyway. And actually, if rook d7, there's going to be a check over here. Potentially. Actually, after all that, I'm not even material up. There's no cheapo, is there? I'm just down on time. I could play for another cheapo with knight f5. If I get the pass pawn going, if I get to play rook f2. G4 looks... He's going to win this pawn, isn't he? There's no... How can I stop these pawns? There's knight f3 wins a piece. Whoops. Oh dear. That was exciting for a while, anyway. So... what about... Okay. Winner, I've got good results recently with gambit here. Just run off. Take with the knight or the pawn. Queen. Knight, I think. Blunt this bishop. So, I'll play bishop c2, I think. Rook d1 should have a reasonable position, I hope. I'm trying to keep abreast on the clock this time as well. Okay, it's looking good, sort of. Am I being optimistic? Bishop's quite... That's bishop d6. So e5 might be annoying. Or is it too loosening? You can just take... It's pinning me, as usual. I can play bishop a3. I'm losing a pawn by force. If I unpin delicately, this might not be too tactically painful. There's bishop e5. Okay. That's causing a collapse. There's bishop f5. Maybe that saves the bacon here. Exchange sack time, huh? I'm throwing this check. Is it any use? There's rook b8. No, there isn't. Knight h2 to g4. Puts knight on aggressive square. Please, I don't like these comments about losing when he's got loads of play. I think it's a 5-minute game. Chaos. So he's got these raking bishops. How can black be losing? Ah. Okay, try and get rid of bishop pair. Safety precaution, but now he's going to win a pawn over here. Not nice. Get my rook to the 7th though. Either rook e1 or rook d1. Rook f2 is not mating just yet. Alright, I won't need more spectators. Okay, just okay. So check, and if I get my rooks to the 7th, could I try and draw this? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 pawns to the exchange, 3 pawns to the exchange. I've got some drawing chance. If I get the king up, maybe some mating that chance. Actually, can I just take on c4? Specific move rather than general move, because otherwise check and go back for c4 maybe, and then rook e7. Just rook e7 there. Does he come out of? I can take on b7 as well. Why don't I just play this? Check. And there's rook e6 of f5. That'll be mating. Isn't he mating net? Is he in the mating net? Yes. Play something ridiculous. This gambit. Yeah, does he know the theory? And there's a trap line. There's a vicious trap line. Which, how does it go? Bishop f5? Queen e7? I don't know the theory of this. I just thought I'd play it for a laugh. Okay, so knight f2 here, bishop c5. Is that a good attack? Where's the king going? Just goes back to e1. What am I talking about? Okay, so okay, I think we're both out of theory. That's a successful outcome of the opening here. So it's a non-standard kind of position. I seem to have a bit of counterplay. This knight is almost unpre. What about knight d4 and castling queenside? Knight d4 deflects the bishop if I want it. He's going to castle queenside if I just kick this knight and play g5, I think. Can't be that unpleasant, surely. This bishop's blocked in, this knight's not good. I like the position. I think I've confused him with the opening choice. Bishop e5. Bishop h3. Bishop f4. That gets rid of most of his good pieces. If I get rid of the rook and this bishop, if I take queen c5, anything better? I can't see anything better. castles. I take. There's knight a5 to win c4 here. Mind you, queen b5. Oh, I've just given up now. There's queen c1. Oh, the rook f8, king g3. Don't know. So knight d5 to f4. Knight d5, rook d1, knight f5. There's bishop f5 winning. So I think knight c4 is probably safer. Play for knight d6, rook f8. Get my king out. King d7, c6. Blunt the bishop. So rook f4 to h4, that would have been nice. Get the king in. What about knight f5? No, pinned. Good point. So knight f5, now knight h4. Can I get into just the rook and pawn ending? What's the matter with that? I'm pawn up? Structurally better. If I just take... How's this king and pawn ending? Oh, I'll go for it. I'll go for it. I think this rook and pawn ending got 3-2. Strategic crush, 3-2. Pawn majority should be enough. In the ideal world. He's going to win this pawn though. He's going to win a pawn over here. Nope, can I go for his pawn? Oh there. What have I done? I can win a3 and I'm on b4. King b3. Takes. Okay, go with the b pawn. Pass pawn. Look, his pawns are not so significant here. Just get my pass pawn going. I'll just play rook h4 though. He's got f4. That's the problem. He's got f4. I gain a bit of time with this, so I'm going to do it. What about rook c4? Let's try and play for a win. If I play rook c4, then there's b2 coming up. I can just play rook b4, thanks very much. I was a bit lucky to win that, so let's have a quick butchers. So surprise opening, I wouldn't play this at home. Okay? Don't play this. Ignore you ever saw this game. This game doesn't exist. This is bad opening for you, but actually it got a really good position somehow. I might try this again, this e5. It really did confuse matters. I thought I was okay. What do you reckon? This is a good position, isn't it? Can you see this on live stream? Good position, yeah? This was okay for black. Yeah? But you know he missed queen b5. Queen b5. Well, queen c4, queen a5, queen c1, king f2, rook f8, king g3. The bishop's protecting the rook. I'm glad I played on that 3-2 there. His pawns are ruptured. Yeah? Pass b pawn worth a bit of time. Okay. I'm going to play dull. e3. Now this is like what Louis versus what's his name? Rubinstein. But I think Louis played it badly. This is a really solid system. None of this gambit rubbish. It's reverse French. Reverse French. We're going to see the venom, the latent pressure here. Maybe bishop d3 was more aggressive. This can turn aggressive with knight e5 f4 later, like Stonewall. I'm going to support e5, I'll play knight e5, f4, and I'll go crazy later. Absolutely crazy, like Dutch Stonewall, potentially. I'll risk playing knight e5 now because I want to get in this f4. Okay, I've weakened myself a bit. Unfortunately, bishop c5 looks good. Okay, weaknesses. Bishop d3 just to neutralize the bishop on f5. Can it be that bad for white, this position? There's f5 on the cards. So knight d2 or c3. Knight c3, knight b5 of c5 to d6. I think here, exchange off rooks. So this c file is a bit of a pain. c3 is going to dominate the c file. Knight f3 on the other hand. My centre is collapsing. No win situation. c4, c3. I think I'll go with c3 just to try and play a move quickly. You can get two rooks with a queen if he just does rook c8. Okay, it's not going in for that. This looks okay, doesn't it, from the opening? If I just target e6 now, surely this is okay. If I just double up rooks, which way to take? Not with this one, there's rook f4. With this one, yeah, keeps the wedge, keeps the knight out c5 and e4. I think this one, I don't want this knight c5 to e4 business. Also there's knight g5 here. Maybe rook f2 first, so I'm threatening mate. Knight g5 immediately, he just exchanges off rooks and comes down with his queen. So I think rook f2. So I'm threatening knight g5. Okay, so if I double up rooks behind that, is that silly? G4 possible? What about this C file? I'll just go back to this C file for a sec. Double up rooks there, maybe rook c7. That's the better way of skinning the cat. Well, there's rook f3 and knight e5 now. I've just gone in for. Oh, blimey. That's too powerful, that exchange set. I think that's end of game. Rook f3. Oh, dear oh dear. There's knight f3. There's rook f3. There's winning lots of pawns, isn't he? Once I can get rooks to the 7th. Queen d4, queen e6. Oh, he's on h2. What about rook f2 here? Just trying to get rook off. So 2 pawns for the exchange. I just double up rooks or just take? I think actually double, keep possession of the file. That's queen f7s maybe to look forward to. If knight e4, queen f7. So h4, knight e4, queen f7. So force h4, maybe? Have I got a perpetual if I want it or not? No, there's no perpetual. There's h5. There's knight g3, but then there's a perpetual. I'll take a draw. If there's a perpetual. Knight g3, king g2. So I've got this queen g6, queen e8 perpetual. Bail out. Well, it was, but now he's stopped that. There's queen f5. If I want a perpetual, can I do better? Down on time. It's queen g6 threatening mate. Stops knight g3, but he just takes and then he plays knight g3. So queen c8, king h7, rook f8. Rook f8? Wow! Hold on. What's wrong with that? Queen's a bit far from my king at the moment. Whoa! He's not going into a gambit. What about b5 as a gambit? Or b5 here? Spice things up. 5-minute chess. Sort of Benko gambit. Ish. Put my queen on Fincato line. G5, H3. I want to keep control of E4, Queen D5. Get B file pressure. It's rook. Okay, he's going to play for E4, so is it time for losing the C pawn as well? So knight e4, rook, queen c7, knight g5 there. So knight e4 it is. So c6, there's no queen c5, there's queen c4. What about knight g5 here? Knight g5 here. There's e4, yeah, but I can play knight e4 again. There's no rook a3 takes. Rook b1, queen e4, there's queen f5, rook b3 is possible, takes, queen f3, if h4, okay, there's pressure on c7 at the moment. What about c6? There's rook c5, there's queen f3, knight f3, king f3. There's rook a3 there. I play d6 here. Is that too risky? What about just less committal? Bishop f6. Oh, hang on, he's playing rook c5. I'll keep avoiding rook c5. Now we can c6, of course. Okay, back to e4, I think. I'm a minute down as well. I'll just add a bit of pressure here to the b file. Okay, there's nothing I can do. I'm just a pawn down for the moment. Another pawn down coming up. Bishop e7 on rook d8. Actually, it's not threatening anything, so just hold on a sec. keep the pressure on B file. Pass. Okay. Now I have to take. I see. That looks gonna for me. Can I get the king in? I think it's good in this sort of position. Completely winning. Don't think this blockade's going to last. Nope. Bishop b6. Takes. And the game. That gambit wasn't good. I think back to e4. Back to e4. Ah, what's this? Is he going to take on e4? Just try and play sensibly. Keep the knights ready to attack. Try and strengthen the centre a bit. Avoid isolating queen pawn. I think bishop g5. It's weakening himself. Whoa, what's this? What about f4? Tempted. f4, h4, h5. I think that's justified. It's e5. I could keep a lock and key on e5 for a moment. Keep the rook on f1 for f4, f5. So h4, h5. Try and soften this king up. Oh, he's got bishop a6s as well. I was going for g2 if he wants. Not yet on g2. Actually, bishop h6 will win the exchange. Plays e5, queen e5, bishop d6. It's queen f6. If he plays queen c6, I'll just take. This looks good. Bishop a6, that's a problem. c4. d4 is a bit looser. There's knight b5 here to win that dark squared bishop. There's queen c6, that's a nasty trap on g2. So I think I'll take on f8 while I still can. So knight e4, is that possible? No. What about b4? Then knight e6. Queen e6. Bishop g6. Anything else? b4 might be useful for b5s. Bishop g3 is not a big deal. I want to get rid of this knight. Maybe bishop b3 and then knight e6. Knight e6 here. Looks as though it's tearing up king a bit. Bishop takes g6 followed by knight e6. There's again this queen c6 business. What about just knight e4? I'm going to lose this pawn on c3. What about knight b5? There's queen c6. So knight e4. Okay, I'll play knight e4 just lose a pawn. Knight b5 now. Queen c6. Knight a7 if nothing else. Am I getting in tactical trouble? Probably. Loose knight. So I just take on f6 for a moment. Take on g6 now. Queen e6. Rook f7. There's knight d6 there. Oh, that's a shame. What about queen h5? Okay, so there's rook e6 for rook e7. And queen g3 here. So I'm losing a piece. I'm losing the exchange. That wasn't clever. Queen g3, AB. He's always got knight f3s now, so that was sad. This takes knight d4. Isn't that about equal? If I just take queen e5, knight d4. Knight. He's a piece up. He's got queen, 2 bishops on rook. He's a piece up. This is hopeless. I'm short on time. It's hopeless. What did I do to the position? I just think that's hopeless. Play, I don't know, f5. Think for f5 or rook g6 or rook e7. Maybe rook e7, maybe doubling rook e7. Or rook g6 here. That's a bit of luck. Needed that. How does he defend g7? That's queen g6. Thanks very much. Bit of a swindle. From a completely lost position. Time. Losing on time, losing on position. Let's play this. He's not going to play c4, is he? I knew it. He's not going to play c. Actually, someone in a club match played this move recently, knight c6. They won in about 15 moves. I was reading the game score of that earlier. Knight c6, and then there was knight e4 later. Isn't check here any good? For ED? Surely this is not Fury. Just, or what about knight takes d4? Isn't that... Oh no, that's no problem, is it? He just plays that. Right. I don't want to expose my structure too badly, so... d6? I end up losing a piece soon if I don't take on c3 because of check. So after d5 I'm going to have to take, okay, Nimzo Indian. What about e4 and f5? Is it better to play e4 and f5, or is it... I think so. I've got the g file if nothing else. Actually there was e3 as an idea. Worth checking out. Put the queen over here. So... I sort of c4 Nimzo plan. So knight a5, c5, Nimzo Indianish. As knight e4 is the tactic at some point. It's d5 if I just castle queenside though. Castle queenside. Try and use this d file. Bishop e6. Bishop e6, queen a4. f4, hitting the bishop. Takes, knight's pinned, takes e3. That looks good. e3. Undermining king safety. Also just doubling rooks. Rook b2, knight c4, end of game. Just doubling rooks here. This looks like too much pressure on the d file and g file. What do you guys think? I know he's got queen a6, but isn't f3 really dangerous? Or fg? Lots of pleasant alternatives. Except knight b7, queen a8 is mates. King d8. The rook's protected at the moment. So fg looks pretty good, but he can just ignore it with f3. There's rook d3. f3 might be too slow. What about just king b7? You could just take. So I've got to do something, I think. Not king b7. So rook d2 takes. No, I don't think so. fg looks the most appealing. Check. What about just king b8 there? Queen a5, fg, king takes. Piece up. Unless, no, the knight's hanging. So in that line, that's okay. Unless king moves over here. Oh, I think fg looks as though that's sensible. I'll play this. Let's double check. Bring the king out. Can't see that could be that bad. Was it f5 or rook g8? Queen e5. Queen e5 central protects the a5. So I'm gonna play king b8 if queen a6. I'm on queen h2 as well as nasty threat. So that's rook swinging to d6. Time. Or just doubling first. Rook d1. Queen c3. Looks dangerous. Oh, I think just doubling here. Queen c3, rook c1. Take, rook d2. So rook d2, there's queen g4. I'll play that anyway, because e3 is a bit loose. It's queen f3, king b8 is better, queen f3. King a7. About knight c4. Or queen c6. Queen c6, get the queens off. How's this rook and pawn ending? Knight e5, there's knight f3 if takes, he could do that. Ouch. That's a draw of once, I think. Draw by perpetual. Down on time. I think I'm going to take it. Play Kasparov's Immortal. How's that go? Knight c3, bishop e3 against Topalov. f3. Oh, different theory now. So d5, is that playable here? Am I going to get slaughtered? What's this called again? Some sort of I don't know. I think I'll take this. More attacking. Go for the H file. So bishop H6 could be useful, I hope. Not here. Dark square blockade. F4 and bishop E2. Maybe. Bishop B5 for bishop D7 doesn't do anything. Bishop E2. Knight goes back, maybe F3. Here E5 is interesting. Or F3. I think bishop E2. Knight F6, E5. Sorry, how many of you on live stream? It seems to be quite an interest in this match. There's quite a few of you on live stream. Can someone say the live stream URL just in case people aren't following the live stream, which would be a bit tragic. Yeah. Okay, so knight e6 and e6. Knight e4, I mean, and e6. So e6 here, or bishop b5 check immediately. e6, there's castles. h5, though, with an attack. Bishop b5, bishop d7. There's bishop c5. It's a nice position. I'm going to lose b2. Does it matter? With bishop b5 check, king f8, rook b1. Can't see a problem. Play for that. If I castle queenside, queen b6, c3 maybe. Does he really want his king on f8 here? To allow this check. If I just play c3 for a moment. Protects b2. So h5 looks as though that's going to be tasty. What else though? He doesn't move his king. I'll just play this anyway. So if he doesn't move his king, should I just take? I've got the advantage of this rook. If I just take on h8, castle queenside, b5, rook h1. Say bishop g7, rook h7. Okay, we'll go for that. Okay, hold the horses on that. Okay, rook h1. Deflect this guy away, or what's wrong with bishop f4 here? Queen moves back to d8, unless he wants rook h8. Bishop e5, rook h8. The queen has to go back to d8. Isn't that a disaster? Almost bishop b5. How can I deflect this bishop away? What about d6 takes queen d5? That looks pretty juicy as well for e7, queen e7. Just d6 surely. If bishop e6, maybe that ruins it. Queen e3, queen d5 is ruined. Nope. Bishop g5. Can I just play bishop g5 to just get rid of the defender of the position? The defender of the position surely is this piece here. Bishop g5, bishop e5. Almost queen f4 works if it wasn't for check, because rook h8 would mate. I'll go for bishop g5. Try and get rid of the defender. Okay, so I want to play for queen f4 without it being check. Unless rook h7, simple and strong. Rook h7, surely. I don't have to be completely crazy all the time. So rook h7. So if e3, okay, go and just take. He's really going to give up his queen. 2 pieces here. I'm not convinced. Queen g5, bishop f6. What about just queen g6, bishop d5? That's queen f7. I can knock out with c4. Queen d8 could be useful in the future. Queen g6 and e7 check. That's what I can aim for here. If rook f6, queen e8. So e7 check. King takes. There's nothing there. Queen f7's almost. I don't know, f4, bishop d3. Okay, I've got a minute left. e7. What about just taking on e4? Isn't that simple? "55 seconds. What's e7 now? If bishop f4 I can just take. Get the queen getting a piece. Oh! Bishop g4, okay. There's bishop d7 if rook f4. Okay, oh dear. Now it's getting tricky. Oh no, I'm going to lose on time here. 38 seconds. Draw? I don't think he's going to accept a draw here. He's too much on time. It's queen h2 potentially. Get onto this queen g3 business. Queen h2. 24 seconds. It's queen c7. For queen d8. It's bishop f5 if I get a chance. d6. What about bishop to e4? Bishop to d3. Bishop f5 again. End of game. Cheeky. No! He's not going to go that low, is he? Why didn't I take his queen? He's higher ECF than me, by the way. 197 against 220. What's your ECF again? Oh dear, oh dear. Okay, gambit time. Actually, couldn't he just take on e4 here? That's not such a hot gambit. I think I've already lost this actually. Knight f2 or knight d6, this is already lost. Oh dear, what have I done? Gambit too far. I'd play knight d6 as a gambit. I don't know. How many pawns is it down? Just one here. d4 control? I don't know. Okay. I suppose it's worth to stop b4. So I can get to play knight d4. He plays e3. He's got h3 if he wants to win f5. So queen d7. I'm going to have to take on f3. I'm going to lose the bishop. Great. I've just lost the bishop. Or maybe not. Okay, go over here for a sec. So if I take, just the pawn down, still for nothing. There's no tactic here, is there? Queen d3, knight c5. If I play b6, there's no knight f6. Bishop f3 is hopeless. I think b6, I don't know, pathetic. I don't think you can play rook d1. So h3, okay. Okay, I'll let him take that if he wants. Put more pressure on the centre. Maybe bishop f3, knight e5. Bishop moves back, knight d3. Is that worth it here? I'm hitting c4. He's got bishop d5. That's c6. I'll try that. It's queen c6. So is knight f3 useful or not? Or knight c4? What about just knight c4, just trying to regain material? Well, I can. So, I'm okay here. Surely. A bit down on the clock. There's no knight e3, takes nothing. Knight d4, knight h4, takes, queen g4. There's king f1, check. King e2. Anything else? Isn't that perpetual? Check. King e1, queen h2. I'll try that. I'll play rook d6 here. Actually, my queen's attacked. Okay. Oh, he's going to get a better ending by force. That's a bit of a downer. I'd have to go for this check. He's going to get a better ending. I'll get the king out anyway. On no g6. If I get to play rook d2, isn't there like knight d3? I get to play knight d3. Right. Ah. No time for. Oh, ouch. More material going down the drain. Try and weave a mating that. I've got 91,000 qubits. What has he done here? Is he going into a mating net of my weaving? That would be quite diabolical. Is he asleep today or something? Sorry, is this looking dangerous? No, no, it's not. His king comes out. There's no perpetual. Is there? No perpetual. King comes out. It's 95. Stop the king coming out. No, it looks pretty desperate. That's over. Whew. Oh, this is getting to be a long live stream. This is okay. What about Morris Smith? Does he know the theory? Last one. Okay. Oh, Warzone final. When is the final? Sorry, is that in a minute? Oh, I'm going to miss the Warzone final. I've got something. When is that? In a minute. Oh, maybe I wanted to plan that, but I don't know. I'm knackered now. This is just rubbish, isn't it? I could offer a draw. Okay, thanks very much. Okay, cheers. Alright, I'll put this on YouTube maybe later. Okay, thanks very much. Cheers.